Alright, this is day 1 of sermon preparation using Bob Utley's hermeneutic method. Basically, the first day, the first reading cycle, what you're going to want to do is read your book in 3 different translation theories. By what I mean by translation theories is some translations are word for word from the Greek and Hebrew, some are thought for thought, and some of them are a dynamic equivalent, which is something in between, tries to balance them both out. So let's start off with our thought for thought, which is something like an NLT. Then we will open up a dynamic equivalent, something like a TEV, and then we'll open a word for word, let's say ESV. So now we've got our 3 different Bibles, and we're going to set them all up as link set A. So link set A and link set A. So then when we type in our book, say the book of Colossians, they're all going to jump to where we need to be. So the first day, all you're looking for is the purpose of the book. See if you can maybe isolate a verse, isolate a literary unit that really portrays the whole theme of the book, the whole purpose. And you're also going to want to identify the genre. So is it a historical narrative? Is it a letter? What type of book is it? So 2 things you're looking for. You're looking to define the genre and define the purpose of the letter. So you're going to be reading the entire book in 3 different translation theories and just looking for those 2 small things. If it's a bigger book, something like Genesis, you might not be able to read the entire book that way. So you can break it up and make it work with your schedule and your workload. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to save this workspace, and we'll just call it day 1 sermon preparation. So we go in here, of course, you see I've already set up my days, and you go in here and you click save. And so next time when you've finished this study and you've started a new study, you can go in there and say, okay, I'm starting the study all over again. Let's go ahead and load the workspace. We're starting in day 1, and it's going to bring up your 3 different translations, and you start off where you started off last time. At this point, we're going to move to day 2 of preparation. Day 2 is you're going to want to read the entire book again. So we'll start out, and we'll type in our passage this time. So we'll say our passage is Colossians. That's going to be our sermon for the week. And so you're going to want to read the entire book again. So this one automatically brought up my New American Standard. And we're going to have to tweak the passage guide for day 2. The things in day 2 we're going to be trying to do is we're going to outline the book. So we're going to break it up in literary units, and basically we're going to paragraph this letter. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to check our cross references, our parallel passage, those type of things. That's all we're going to do on day 2. So what we need to do is go in into our passage guide, and we'll bring up our cross references. We'll bring up our literary typing to just double check what we have, what we thought the genre is, as opposed to what other people have thought the genre is. Bring up our parallel passages, and at this point it would be a good time to compare versions also. Click OK, and that's our study for day 2. Again, what we're doing is we're rereading the entire book again. We're outlining the book, breaking it up in literary units, Basically what that is you're taking this letter and you're paragraphing it by subject. Then you're going to run your cross references for your chapter for the week, and you're going to check your parallel passage, and of course you're going to double check your work from day one, which on day one you should have said, okay, well, this is the main theme of this is, it's the main genre is it's a letter, it's a community letter. So you're just double checking your work there. Now, under the compare Bible versions, this is a real neat tool. You can kind of see your passage in multiple translations and see where the big difference is in each passage. So for example, in Colossians chapter 1 verse 25, the versions are all reading something a bit different as opposed to maybe verse 15 or 16 where they're all reading something pretty similar. So you're going to want to note those things on day 2 also. Then what we're going to do is well, actually what we need to do is save our workspace. So we're going to save our workspace, name it day 2, and click save. So then on day 3 we are going to be doing the very same thing. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and load my workspace for day 3, which is, of course, you're starting out at the beginning, you're typing in your passage in the passage guide, and then going from there. Now, day 3 is our application day. This is the day where we look for illustrations, we look for the different things in this passage. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change our passage guide for this day. At this point, we are going to want to look at our application commentaries. We don't need our cross references anymore. We've taken care of that. And we're going to want to look at the biblical people, and we are going to want to maybe look at some illustrations. So go ahead and link to Sermon Central, and at this point I don't have a collection of my systematic theologies, but what you're going to want to do is create a collection for your systematic theologies and include your systematic theology in day 3. That way, that helps you find some of the topics in your passage, which helps you with the illustrations, which helps you with the applications, and that sort of thing. So you've got your illustrations. Go ahead and link your topics. Open up a collection of systematic theologies, and that will help you all in day 3. So in day 3, what we're doing is we're going to try to figure out the historical setting of this book, and we're going to list some items like the author, the date, the recipients, the reasons for writing, that sort of thing. We're going to note all that stuff, and then we're going to go through and again we're going to reread the entire book again on day 3, and we're going to check out our application commentaries. So this is day 3 is our application day. We're going to look at some of the historical things in the book, the people, the places, the different things in the book. We're going to look at the different topics within our passage. For example, a topic may be Christian living. At that point, we're going to look for illustrations to help us convey that thought to the congregation, and we're just going to go through our application commentaries. So again, at that point, what you're going to want to do is save your workspace for day 3, and then you are good to go. Then we're moving on to day 4 of our study. I'm just going to go ahead and load my workspace for day 4. Day 4, at this point we're not going to read the entire book again. We're going to focus on our literary unit. At this point, our passage guide is going to change again. We're no longer going to need any of this stuff. We're going to need very few things now. Basically for day 4, you just want your expositional commentaries, your background collections, maybe your study Bibles, that sort of thing. And that's all you're going to need on your passage guide for day 4. So again, day 4, you're going to read your literary unit, or the chapter or whatever you've broke down for that Sunday, or whatever day you do your study. You're going to break it. You're going to reread that literary unit, and you're going to double check your homework from the day before, looking at what other people have said about the background, the historical setting, maybe some of the people and the places and the things that are found in that book. So you're going to double check those things with your expositional commentaries, and that's pretty much all you're doing on day 4. At this point, we're going to move to day 5. So we'll just go ahead and load this workspace. Day 5, what we're going to do is we are going to read our literary unit and multiple translations. So just go ahead and read your literary unit or your passage in word for word, then switch to a thought for thought, then switch to a dynamic equivalent. At this point, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at some grammatical structures in your passage, some significant terms, maybe some work difficulties, and you're going to want to look at your exegetical commentaries. So we'll go here in our passage guide, and we don't need any of this stuff. What we're going to need is our exegetical commentaries, important words, maybe some sentence diagrams, compare versions again would be a good one for day 5. And then you're all set. So again, what you're going to do on day 5 is you're going to read your literary unit and multiple translation theories. You're going to look at the different grammatical structures, some significant terms, word difficulties, check out your exegetical commentary, and then this is your exegetical day, so this is where you're going to be making use of your exegetical guide in your study for sermon preparation on day 5. So the purpose and point behind all of this is to, namely, one, get firmly grounded in the book that you're teaching on. Number 2, you're going to want to look at the historical settings, the backgrounds, all that stuff behind the book. You're going to want to look at the different persons, people, things within that book, and you're just going through and you're breaking up your commentaries and application. So you got one day of application, you've got another day of exposition, you've got another day of exegetical, and each day what you're going to do is you're going to end up doing the work and then checking your work with the different commentaries. So you're going to do the application work by via looking at your systematic theologies, looking for the topics within the passage, find illustrations that help you convey that point, check out your application commentaries, and double check your work there, see if anybody else has seen any other different topics within that passage. And then day 4, what you're going to do is you're going to go over what you've done in day 3, that historical stuff. You're going to double check all your homework there in your expositional commentaries, and then you're going to read your expositional commentaries and see what the believing community has to offer that maybe you have missed. Day 5, what you're going to do is you're going to do your homework first, and you're going to read your literary unit and multiple translations, look for the grammatical structures, the word difficulties, and then you're going to check out your exegetical guide, and then double check your homework with your exegetical commentaries. At that point, you're going to want to put all your information together and form your sermon, and then you're all set.